It has been an absolutely miserable couple of years for the legacy media as their ratings collapse and trust in them is fading. And guys, it just got a little bit worse for CNN. In an article titled Jury Finds CNN Committed Defamation Against Navy Veteran, Settlement Reached on Punitive Damages, subtitled Navy Veteran and CNN reach settlement, on punitive damages after jury ruled against network. From Fox News by Brian Flood, we learn the following. A jury found that CNN committed defamation against U.S. Navy veteran Zachary Young and is responsible for punitive damages on Friday after more than 8 hours of deliberation. The six-person jury ruled Young was awarded $4 million in lost earnings, $1 million in personal damages such as pain and suffering, and said that punitive damages are warranted against CNN. As the jury was gearing up to determine punitive damages, 14th Judicial Circuit Court Judge William S. Henry announced that Young and CNN reached a settlement for the amount that would be awarded to the Navy veteran. The settlement amount was not disclosed. The settlement announcement came after an expert witness suggested $150 million was a fair amount to punish CNN. Young allegedly said that. I'm going to read that again. The settlement announcement came after an expert witness suggests that $150 million was a fair amount to punish CNN. Young alleged that CNN smeared him by implying he illegally profited when helping people flee Afghanistan on the black market during the Biden administration's military withdrawal from the country in 2021. Young believes CNN destroyed his reputation and business by branding him an illegal profiteer who exploited desperate Afghans. During the November 11th, 2021 report by Alex Marquardt that first appeared on CNN's The Lead with Jake Tapper. Now, this is not simply as it seems. This was not a deliberation process. This was not a jury process. This was not a court proceeding that was particularly kind to CNN writ large. There are clips around YouTube that have the judge speaking very harshly to the legal team from CNN. It seems they could not even get that part of things right. Several times during the process, the CNN lawyers were reprimanded for basically unprofessional behavior. And this is, look, we are seeing the ABC settlement with Donald Trump. We are seeing the proceedings going forward with Gina Carano versus Disney. The legacy media got very, very messy, got very, very lazy, got very, very hostile, and now things are coming back to bite them. The article itself carries on, "We remain proud of our journalists and are 100% committed to strong, fearless, and fair-minded reporting at CNN." All right. Though we will, of course, take what useful lessons we can from this case, a CNN spokesperson told Fox News Digital. Prior to the settlement, Judge Henry read instructions to the jury as they prepared to determine punitive damages. You should consider this additional evidence along with the evidence presented, and you should decide any disputed factual issues by the greater weight of the evidence. The greater weight of the evidence means the more persuasive and convincing force and effect of the entire evidence in the case, Judge Henry said, in order to decide the amount of punitive damages, if any, to be assessed as punishment against the defendant. He continued, this amount would be in addition to the compensatory damages you have previously awarded. I can't read today, I'm sorry. Judge Henry instructed jurors to consider the nature, extent, and degree of misconduct and the related circumstances, including whether the wrongful conduct was motivated solely by unreasonable financial gain, whether the unreasonably dangerous nature of the conduct together with the high likelihood of injury resulting from the conduct was actually known to the defendant, whether at the time the defendant had a specific intent to harm the plaintiff, if the conduct did in fact harm the plaintiff. Judge Henry also said the financial resources of CNN should be taken into consideration. You may not reward an amount that would financially destroy the defendant, Judge Henry said. Now, there is a point I want to make here. One of the things that we have heard from this trial is that in order to prove defamation, the plaintiff had to produce evidence suggesting they could not get another job or that this incident affected their ability to find other work. And the defendants, CNN's lawyers, tried to bring an article saying that that was hooey, that the plaintiff indeed was able to find other work. But what they produced was an application from the plaintiff looking for work that he was then denied. They did not even look that far into this to find that much out. The article continues, it was a calculated attack by CNN on his character that has inflicted deep and lasting wounds, Freeman said. CNN's Jake Tapper first teased the 2021 segment at the center of the suit, warning CNN viewers of desperate Afghans still trying to escape a country being preyed on by folks demanding they pay up big time to get out. Later in the show, Tapper reminded viewers about that the story about desperate Afghans being preyed upon was next. Tapper's teasers ended up being a key part of the trial as jurors asked to take another look at them during the deliberations process. Once the much hyped segments began, Tapper said Marquardt found Afghans trying to get out of the country face a black market full of promises and demands of exorbitant fees and no guarantees of safety or success. Marquardt then singled out Young, putting a picture of his face on screen and saying his company was asking for $75,000 to transport a vehicle of passengers to Pakistan or $14,500 per person to end up in the United Arab Emirates. Now, here's something I want to point out that is absolutely wild. These two statements here. The people in question trying to get out are desperate and they're being preyed upon. Okay, why are they desperate? Because of the inherent danger of the Afghanistan that Joe Biden left to them. Do they believe that the plaintiff in this case is not also in danger? If you are in danger of your life, don't you get to name your own price? So is CNN stating that it was not dangerous there? That the plaintiff himself could not have lost his life in this process? If that is the case, then why were all of these Afghans so desperate to get out? A black market full of promises, demands of exorbitant fees, and no guarantee of safety or success. Why would there be no guarantee of safety or success? Because it was so dangerous. If I were driving the both of us around in a very dangerous situation, I get to tell you what you owe me if we get out of this situation. This is standard economics, which it seems CNN doesn't understand, and if they did, they wouldn't be paying their anchors as much money as they are to not bring in the ratings that they're not bringing in. CNN is going to go bankrupt. 3 years tops, in my opinion. The advertising will not be there. The advertising is coming to YouTube. The audience will not be there. The audience is moving to YouTube. There is no situation, in my opinion, where CNN wins. Here's the next step for CNN. They're going to start trying to tear down YouTube creators. YouTube is where all of the money, all of the audience is going. They cannot compete against independent creators because they only know how to do this. They only know how to lie. They are going to come after independent creators. There will be more cases just like this where they have lied about someone who is creating content online and directly competing with them. The article itself continues, every second of the segment was picked apart during the trial, with CNN's legal team insisting Young was not a major element of the story, and the plaintiff's team suggesting that the black market implication essentially ruined Young's career as a defense contractor, where that language was specifically mentioned as grounds for termination in a contract he signed. Young's legal team obtained damning CNN internal messages. This is absolutely mind-boggling here. Young's legal team obtained damning CNN internal messages through discovery repeatedly showing staffers expressing overt hostility towards the Navy veteran. Among those presented to the jury included one calling him a shitbag and an asshole, one saying he has a punchable face. Mark Watt's own message telling a colleague, "We're going to nail this Zachary Young motherfucker," was often cited throughout the trial. What don't they understand here? They don't, again, understand danger, because they're just little reporters at CNN. They've never been in danger. They don't understand economics because daddy probably sent them to college and they're not repaying their own student loans. They walked right out of college into a job at CNN. They don't understand the entire world they're writing about, but they want to write about it, and they want to pretend that a person who is putting his own life on the line in Afghanistan, getting people to safety for monetary reward, the same way that police and firefighters get paid, doing this for monetary reward makes him the villain. Not Hamas, not Al-Qaeda, not ISIS, not any of the parties at play during the downfall of Afghanistan. Not those people who these Afghans are rightly trying to escape. Those people aren't the bad guys. No, it's the guy who's getting paid to drive people out of an absolute hellhole war zone. That's what's drawing your ire. At one point, CNN senior national security editor Thomas Lumley was grilled in court after internal messages showed that he was highly skeptical of the pretty flawed report. Lumley was called as a witness after internal messages showed he felt the report was full of holes like Swiss cheese. Lumley deserves a promotion. Young, who became emotional on the witness stand when discussing the segment's impact on his marriage, also testifies that he rescued at least 22 women from Afghanistan, but that information was never reported by CNN. Why? Because CNN had in mind who was the bad guy, and it was not the bad guys. It was not the people coming in, flooding into Afghanistan in order to cause chaos, to kill indiscriminately, to wreck anything that the Afghan people had built for themselves. Those are not the people that CNN was trying to paint as the bad guy. No, the person that CNN was trying to paint as a bad guy was a Navy veteran who was putting his life on the line to get paid in order to get people out of Afghanistan. You do not hate the legacy media enough. The legacy media's downfall will not come quickly enough. But rest assured, it will come. That is all I have for this video. If you like or appreciate what I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other people on the platform. And if you find yourself here by chance but not design, this is one of the kinds of things that I talk about on this channel. I also talk about philosophy, I also talk about goal setting, and I also talk about movies. So consider subscribing in order to stick around for that content as well. And as always, I hope to have you back for the next one.